Have you ever wondered what exactly makes the AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifle special? To find out, make sure you watch this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hi there, welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifle, which is the weapon used by Ukraine to kill Russian troops. The war between Russia and Ukraine left a lot of people amazed. This is because literally no one saw it coming. On 24th February 2022, Russia invaded the northern part of Ukraine and then slowly moved to other areas. The invasion has kept a lot of neighboring countries on high alert. Despite being heavily outgunned and outnumbered by the far superior Russian forces, the Ukrainian troops have so far managed to put up an unbelievable resistance. Thanks to a multitude of cheaper yet effective weapons, Ukraine has managed to stall its invaders. As the conflict between Ukrainian and Russian forces continues, fighting in urban cities has proved intense and bloody. With a vastly outgunned military, lacking some higher-end weapons and arms in comparison to Russia's sizable arsenal, Ukraine's forces and political leaders have looked for ways to demonstrate strength. Ukraine resorted to using different assault rifles such as AK-47, AKMS, AK-74, AK-12, AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifles, and many more. Various Bullpup rifles of Ukrainian production have been increasingly documented in the hands of mainly special units. While some weapons can be traced back decades of development, other types represent little or no modified licensed production. A specific so-called Bullpup design assault rifle can be seen in one part of the huge multimedia stream of Ukrainian defenses against Russian troops. The rifle was identified as the Ukrainian assault rifle Malyuk. The AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifle has piqued the interest of a lot of people. This is because this rifle was made in Ukraine and has proven to be very effective. Before we start talking about the AK-74 Malyuk assault rifle, let's take a quick dive into the AK-74 rifle. The AK-74 is an assault rifle designed by Soviet small arms designer Mikhail Kalashnikov in 1974. It is chambered for the 5.45 by 39mm cartridge, which replaced the 7.62 by 39mm cartridge of Kalashnikov's earlier automatic weapons for the Soviet armed forces. The rifle first saw service with Soviet forces in the 1979 Afghanistan conflict. The head of the Afghan Bureau of the Pakistani Inter-Services Intelligence claimed that the CIA paid $5,000 for the first AK-74 captured by the Afghan Mujahideen during the Soviet-Afghan War. The rifle's operation during firing and reloading is identical to that of the AKM. After ignition of the cartridge primer and propellant, rapidly expanding propellant gases are diverted into the gas cylinder above the barrel through a vent near the muzzle. The buildup of gases inside the gas cylinder drives the long-stroke piston and bolt carrier rearward, and a cam guide machined into the underside of the bolt carrier along with an ejector spur on the bolt carrier rail guide rotates the bolt approximately 35 degrees and unlocks it from the barrel extension via a camming pin on the bolt. The moving assembly has about 5.5 mm (0.2 inches) of free travel, which creates a delay between the initial recoil impulse of the piston and the bolt unlocking sequence, allowing gas pressures to drop to a safe level before the seal between the chamber and the bolt is broken. Like previous Kalashnikov pattern rifles, the AK-74 does not have a gas valve. Excess gases are ventilated through a series of radial ports in the gas cylinder. Since the Kalashnikov operating system offers no primary extraction upon bolt rotation, the 5.45 by 39mm AK-74 bolt has a larger extractor claw than the 7.62 by 39mm AKM for increased extraction reliability. Other minor modifications were made to the bolt and carrier assembly. The original steel-reinforced 30-round AK-74 detachable box magazine was similar to that of the AKM, except for minor dimensional changes required by the 5.45 by 39mm cartridge. These rust-colored magazines are often mistakenly identified as being made of bakelite, a phenolic resin, but were fabricated from two parts of the AGS4 molding compound, assembled using an epoxy resin adhesive. Noted for their durability, these magazines did, however, comprise the rifle's camouflage and lacked the small horizontal reinforcing ribs running down both sides of the magazine body near the front that were added on all later AK-74 magazine generations. A second-generation steel-reinforced dark brown 30-round magazine was introduced in the early 1980s, fabricated from ABS plastic. The third-generation steel-reinforced 30-round AK-74 magazine is similar to the second generation, but is darker colored and has a matte, non-reflective surface finish. With the introduction of the AK-74M, the fourth generation of steel-reinforced matte, true black, non-reflective surface-finished 30-round AK-74 magazines were introduced. All AK-74 magazines have a raised horizontal rib on each side of the rear lug to prevent their use in a 7.62 by 39mm AK. The next modification done on AK-74 brought about the AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifle. Now let's talk about the AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifle. Malyuk, a Ukrainian word that is translated as baby or youngster in English, is the name given a prototype of this gun. Malyuk was marketed as Vulcan or Vulcan M, a standard AK series bullpup rifle, which is a firearm configuration wherein the action and magazine are behind the trigger. The Malyuk is not an entirely new design. The Malyuk was developed in 2005 as an improvement on the Vepr bullpup rifle. The prototypes were designed by the Ukrainian Space Agency. The first prototypes were exhibited in 2008, and in 2012 the design was finalized. The production was announced to have begun in 2015 to 2016. The rifles were first unveiled in 2015 by Interpro Invest IPI, a firm that specializes in the development of military and non-military products. The rifle is essentially a bullpup AK, though with some obvious modification. It was a private endeavor, with interest from the Ukrainian government but no direct involvement. The rifle is intended to replace Soviet AK variant 5.45 and 7.62 rifles in Ukraine. The company's main benefit, as they say, is the rifle modifies an existing platform as opposed to the Fort 221, another Ukrainian company manufacturing a Tavor clone, which relies on foreign-made parts. According to The Drive, the Bullpup is not a widely used design due to its technical specialties, including specialized ejection mechanisms. Debates have raged for years in professional and casual shooting circles about the pros and cons of bullpups. A relatively small number of world militaries have ever actually made guns in this configuration their standard infantry rifle, and elite units in some of these countries have still eschewed those guns. Some nations have since reverted to more conventional designs entirely. Though Ukraine had announced in 2016 that the Malyuk had passed state trials, its use remained limited. From what we have seen since Russia's invasion kicked off in February, Special Operations Forces personnel are still the primary users of these guns. What are the features of the AK-74-based Malyuk assault rifle? Before we continue, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Reports added that the Malyuks have a 16.3-inch barrel, 28 inches overall, and weigh just under 8.4 pounds empty. The rifle has versions chambered for both Soviet-designed 7.62 by 39mm and 5.45 by 39mm ammunition, and NATO standard 5.56 by 45mm cartridges. The main idea behind the bullpup configuration is to reduce overall length, making the gun handier in confined spaces without necessarily sacrificing barrel length. A shorter barrel typically translates to poorer ballistics and lower accuracy, since the bullet has less time to build up speed and stabilize itself before flying out of the muzzle. The most intriguing part of the rifle is its chassis. IPI says that its new chassis, which makes heavy use of polymer material, is also specially designed to ensure that heat radiating from the barrel after firing is sufficiently dissipated. The bullpup configuration means that most of the barrel, which gets hotter as the gun is fired, is right in the center of the weapon. A quick detachable suppressor is also available. The magazine is mounted within a dedicated shaft, which not only facilitates better fixation, but is designed to allow the magazine to fall under its weight with a press of the release button located next to the trigger. And it is easy to load into the receiver from whatever position the shooter chooses to take. The weapon's design makes optimal use of the energy of the combustion gases. The barrel is cooled by air convection, resulting in a longer barrel life, which is twice that of the Kalashnikov rifle. The ergonomic bolt handle doesn't move when firing to preclude finger or chin injuries. The Malyuk has had its recoil reduced by almost 50% as compared to that of the Kalashnikov rifle, and its design allows the key operations, unlocking, firing, removing, and replacing the magazine and reloading, to be done with a single hand. That concludes today's video. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments area below, and while you're doing it, click the like button. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell button to see more of this type of content. Thank you for watching.